Did you know that not every human species is Homo sapiens? In today's video I am going to tell you about the people who occupied the earth before we Homo sapiens came. The world was cold, brutally cold. Glaciers stretched across continents. Winds howled through frozen valleys. Survival wasn't just difficult, it was a daily battle against extinction. And in this harsh world lived a powerful human species, the Neanderthals. They weren't the dull, cave-dwelling brutes people once imagined. No, these were elite survivors. Short, muscular, and incredibly strong, Neanderthals were built like nature's response to the Ice Age. Their wide noses helped warm freezing air. Their thick bones and powerful limbs made them formidable hunters. Picture this. A group of Neanderthals stands silently in the snow. Ahead of them, a massive woolly mammoth. No guns, no traps. Just spears and courage. They charge. This was their life, close range, high-risk hunting. And they were good at it. But strength wasn't all they had. Neanderthals made tools, not just crude ones, carefully crafted stone tools, designed for specific purposes. They used fire. They built shelters, and most importantly, they cared. Yes, cared. Archaeological evidence shows they looked after their injured, even those who couldn't hunt anymore. Think about that. In a world where survival was everything, they still chose compassion. They even buried their dead. That means something deeper, perhaps belief, emotion, maybe even early spirituality. For thousands of years, Neanderthals ruled Europe and parts of Asia. They were not failures. They were not primitive mistakes. They were human. While Neanderthals dominated the cold north, something new was rising in Africa, a different kind of human, not stronger, not tougher, but smarter in a different way. These were Homo sapiens. At first, they weren't impressive physically. Compared to Neanderthals, they looked almost fragile, slimmer bodies, less muscle. But inside their skulls was something powerful, imagination. Homo sapiens didn't just survive the world, they reimagined it. They created tools to but theirs evolved faster. They made needles for sewing clothes, fish hooks, bows and arrows. They adapted quickly to different environments. But their greatest weapon, language, not just sounds, not just signals, complex communication. They could share ideas, plan strategies, tell stories, and pass knowledge across generations. Imagine sitting around a fire. A sapien speaks not just about today's hunt, but about the past and the future. That changes everything. Because once humans can imagine together, they can build together. And so they spread out of Africa into the Middle East, into Europe, into Asia, eventually everywhere. Now imagine this moment, to human species, to different ways of surviving, finally meeting, Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. This wasn't just a meeting, it was a turning point in human history. For thousands of years, they coexisted. Sometimes they competed. Sometimes they even connected. Yes, connected. Modern science shows that many humans today still carry Neanderthal DNA. That means these two species didn't just fight. They interbred, they had children, their stories became intertwined. But something changed. Gradually Neanderthals began to disappear. Why? We don't know for sure, but there are theories. Homo sapiens had better communication, larger, more connected social groups, faster innovation, more adaptable survival strategies. Or maybe it wasn't one big event, maybe it was a slow fade, a stronger network replacing a stronger body. By about 40,000 years ago, the Neanderthals were gone, but not completely forgotten, because part of them lives on in us. Now here's the twist. For all their differences, Neanderthals and Homo sapiens were shockingly similar. Both walked upright, used tools, controlled fire, lived in groups, hunted animals, showed signs of emotion and care. They weren't human versus non-human. They were more like two versions of humanity. Two paths evolution explored. But the differences, that's where history was decided. Brain and thinking. Neanderthals had large brains but focused on survival and physical tasks. Homo sapiens developed abstract thinking, art, symbols, strategy, communication. Neanderthals likely had limited language. Homo sapiens had complex language, allowing large cooperation. Adaptability. Neanderthals thrived in cold environments. Homo sapiens could adapt to almost anywhere. Social structure. Neanderthals lived in smaller groups. Homo sapiens formed larger networks, sharing knowledge across distances, and that made all the difference. Today, every human walking this planet belongs to one species, Homo sapiens. But we are not alone in our story. Inside your DNA there might be a trace of Neanderthal, a reminder that we weren't the only humans to ever exist. We were just the ones who adapted faster, connected deeper, imagined bigger, and in the end, that was enough to shape the world. If you like stories like this, please subscribe to the channel so that you can see me again.